behind you. Oh, I'm not.
Well, turn it on.
Yes.
Oh, right. Bloody hell.
Oh, right. No, there we are.
Sure, it feels like a bloody.
Hello and good evening to you. Here we are on a Friday night in November in Britain. Oh dear. Here we are back in a strange place. My friend's phone behind me is making offensive noises. It spoke of somebody else. So hello to Linda Jo, hello to Bernadette and Rue, Mother Duck. There is another bottle of gin from over there. Sorry, drinks are being poured. I should have arranged for drinks to be poured before we started. No, over in the over
In the bag.
No, in the.
I'm getting the tonic now.
But we are looking forward to going ahead talking about things. But terribly sorry to say we are being interrupted by the gin is. We have an Irishman as a barman tonight, which adds an element of lovely comedy and fun to our conversation. We are not like all the other boring YouTube channels. We just do what we want when we want. This is a bit like with Nail and I. It's a bit bonkers. Oh, thank you. I have my drink poured for me. And the other gin is towards the kettle area. So the barman knows where it is. So here we are yet again. And hello to all of you. And you're coming in thick and fast. It's absolutely lovely to see you. We have the wonderful Jono here as well, who's going to help with the quiz because he's off to places
Australia.
Warmer. Unfortunately, my fridge door is making an awful noise, and that is not very helpful either. But frankly, it all adds to the comedy and the comedy gold of this particular mad evening. So, we've got somebody walking like he's in John Cleese's sketch towards me, and I have some silly books sitting behind me, but there we go. So we're off on another merry evening of merriness and madness. So here you are, and there's lots of you. Terry Kumpf, you should come up with your own gin brand. Well, I did do that long ago, and I was involved in a gin brand. I was involved in a vodka brand and a chocolate cream liqueur, which was utterly revolting in my personal opinion, but people love to pour it over vanilla ice cream. I thought it was utterly reprehensible and disgusting, but I had to be involved in it because the crazy billionaire Maurice Canbar decided that was something that he thought the public would want. I thought it would make people sick, but there we go. Anyway, Harriet is here also willing to help with the quiz, but we also have Jono, so it's going to be a team effort between Harriet and Jono with our new quiz book, so this is going to be lovely. Bernadette asked, is Min in the building? No, Min is not in the building. Min is in Paris, and Min will be flying back to South Africa, sunny South Africa, and I don't think she'll be darkening our shores again for quite a considerable period of time. So there we go. Tina De Silva is only here until 9 o'clock, and then she's away to watch the Big Brother final. Well, Tina De Silva, I hope you enjoy the Big Brother final. I can't say I have ever watched the Big Brother final, but it's not really on my watch list or to-do list, as Max here in the background is saying. I don't think Max and I are fans of the Big Brother final. I don't know if Jono has Jono watched the Big Brother final?
No, I've never watched the Big Brother final. Is this the series 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Heidi is looking forward to the quiz. And
good, so,
Mother Duck is also so. Terry is not a fan of Big Brother. Well, I don't know anything about Big Brother, Terry. So I think Terry You are spot on, and we don't need to talk any further about Big Brother. It has no relevance to my life, and I don't think, since my friend Frankie Dettori was in it, I think that's the only person who's been relevant who's ever been in it. There was a complete bizarre nutcase who I knew who pretended he was a friend of Prince William. He was in it. I won't name him because he'd loved the publicity. And my friend from the Daily Mail fell out with him because he said, choose him or me. And he was a complete fraudster and a complete charlatan and a complete load of Barry bullshit. And frankly, no. This Big Brother program, it was full of people like that Jade Goody woman. I don't know anything about this. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I have no interest in this crap TV show. Thank you. So no more about Big Brother. So we'll move along to our first topic, which will be, let's find it. Right. Well, the first topic I think we'll begin with is a Hampshire village that has offended me, I have to say, with their nonsense about apostrophes. You know, this village called Twyford, even the local author, Jane Austen, got upset. It's all to do with a street called St. Mary's Terrace and whether St. Mary's should be St. Mary's with an apostrophe or St. Mary's without an apostrophe. And supposedly this grumbling, according to The Guardian, has made teachers in the local community passionate. They are dismayed and they're upset that their tree-lined street has lost its apostrophe. But now the apostrophe, after a 12-month battle, the status quo, according to Stephen Morris of The Guardian, has been put back. And now the controversy continues because others are expressing their regret. They think that this is not correct and there should not be an apostrophe. Well, that is utterly stupid. This is utterly woke, crazy, bonkers nonsense. The punctuation police. You know, there's now a society called the Apostrophe Protection Society. They are dealing with such things. Now, back in 2013, I wrote about a council in Devon. This is long ago. Waterstones at that time had announced they were ditching the apostrophe in the name. So Waterstones is a company that was founded by a man who became known as Sir Tim Waterstone. Mr. Waterstone is the founder of Waterstones, so therefore Waterstones is a bookshop that has to have an apostrophe in its name. It was not called Waterstones. It was Mr. Waterstone's bookshop. So therefore the apostrophe applies. An absolute load of nonsense. And then at that time, in mid-Devon, they decided that every apostrophe had to be removed from every street sign. So there was a street called Romans Way. There was a street called King's Crescent. And they got rid of those. So no, I wrote about the ludicrous modernity of that at the time. And then, of course, there is the matter of something that I think about quite a lot, given I used to live very close to it, the King's Road, Chelsea. Now, if you go along the King's Road, there are various street signs. So there's King's Road, which is Kings, no apostrophe. There is Kings apostrophe S, and then there's King apostrophe S. Now, it was a road that was built for the king, but there have been multiple kings, so therefore there is a bit of confusion going on there. But no, I would refer to the King's Road as Kings myself. So there we go. Anyway, that is the matter of that dealt with for this evening. I don't know what you think about. You want to know if there should be a pub called Savile's Rest. I don't think anyone wants a pub that remembers Jimmy Savile. So thank you, Paulie, for your kind comment. But no, there is no need for a pub called Savile's Rest. Savile should be expunged from society forevermore. The king's new clothes, says Angela. Well, Angela, you're always welcome. And you would like the Savile's Arms, local to you. So Angela has a local pub called the Savile Arms. Well, I don't think it's named after. And then, of course, there are the Prince Andrew pubs. There's lots of pubs named after him. That's rather unfortunate. Perhaps we should get rid of a few of those. But anyway, cheers to you and cheers to me and cheers to me if we disagree. But I don't like the misuse of apostrophes. So there we go. But no, my gin monitor here is doing very well and making lovely gin and tonics. And right, so we've dealt with that matter. So, right, we will move along to the next topic, which will be on my little list here. We'll talk about the Napoleon program, the Napoleon film. So, there is a film coming out on 22nd of November about Napoleon, starring Joaquin Phoenix and Vanessa Kirby. I find that this film will be something I would like to watch, and I think I should recommend to you. It has had rave reviews, and I think for a good reason. It's made by Ridley Scott, and film fans can't wait, according to The Guardian. They've given it 5 out of 5. I've watched the trailer, and, they say, emperor, lover, tyrant, legend. They miss out some of the naughty parts of his life. It will be exclusively, as they say, typically American, in movie theaters for Thanksgiving. And this occurs on the 202nd anniversary of Napoleon's death. Myth and reality will be explored. And, I think that this is a very fascinating film that I will enjoy watching myself, and I urge you to watch. I have had a late friend who owned a restaurant in South Kensington, and they had a lock of Napoleon's hair, which was on the wall. And I had another friend who was the chairman of McKinsey and the chairman of Shell variously. And the owner didn't really want this lock of the hair. And I took it to auction at Sotheby's and tried to sell it for him. But they didn't really want it. But because there's rather a lot of Napoleon memorabilia around. But anyway, my friends eventually bought it from them. But another person who I knew of, Conrad Black, the former owner of the Telegraph, he bought Napoleon's pickled penis. You couldn't even make it up. This man was so obsessed with Napoleon that he bought what he believed to be Napoleon's penis, and he put it on his desk in a jar. That is a seriously weird thing to do. But, Napoleon was somebody who was a very strange man. He was totally in love with himself. He was an emperor. He became the emperor. And, he behaved in a way that, frankly, was bizarre. This film supposedly brilliantly explores this man's life, and President Macron has described him as being part of us. But the legacy is there. The legacy is strange. Do you want to accept this monster as he was, and this man who restored slavery in 1802? He was not a kind-hearted person. I'm sorry, we are having interruptions in the background. He is someone who has brought joy to people's lives in some ways, and his life on St. Helena, anything that belongs to him sells for a fortune. A South Korean collector paid 1.9 million euros for a two-pointed hat worn by him just last year. This is a film that I think we should all have a look at. So there we go. So that's my view on the film of Napoleon. Right, so next I will move along to another topic, which will be the topic of the program called Shetland. Thank you very much to Melissa Neal for your £5 donation. Have a drink on me, pip pip. Well, thank you. I appreciate your kind donation. Thank you very much to everybody who's made kind donations to me. I'm very sorry about the noise of the pipes. One of my guests has unfortunately gone upstairs. I do apologize for the noise of the pipes. But thank you very much to all the other people, and I will be coming to talk about your kind donations tomorrow, when I will talk about every kind donation, because there's quite a lot that it's all become rather confusing as to what came from where, so we will sort it all out tomorrow. Anyway, so Series 8 of the program called Shetland. Shetland is a program that's on the BBC, a place that has no trees. And they brought back the Shetland, but they didn't bring back the main actor, which is a man called Douglas Henshall, who was D.I. Jimmy Perez. Now, I watched the first episode of the 8th series last night, and I have to say it is disappointing. It is not of the league of the previous 7 series. And, I do think that though the scenery is fantastic, and it was shown between the 1st and the 15th of November, I do think that without the main character, what is the point? The BBC have missed the trick. They should have kept the original character. That is not the way to do TV. So I have to say, I do not recommend the 8th series of Shetland, but who knows? I will watch the subsequent 2 episodes, but that is all I have to say about that. But I'm not enthused. So please send me your recommendations of what I have missed, because unfortunately, whilst one travels in Europe, we cannot watch British TV. So I would love to know what you actually like. Right. So now I will talk about something a little more serious, and that is David Cameron. And my guests are laughing because they don't like David Cameron, clearly. I don't think anyone does. But David Cameron is now the Right Honourable, the Lord Cameron of Chipping Norton. My guests are laughing. Yes, well, I'm laughing too, but I wouldn't be laughing. He's part of the Chipping Norton set. Think Jeremy Clarkson, think Rebecca Brooks, think all of those people that live down there in Chipping Norton. The Murdochs and the rest of them. So they're not the best of them, are they? This is an absolute disgrace that this man was put into government by Rishi, who has done nothing to help any of us in our world. This man has a cabal of MPs, yet he can't find an MP capable of being Foreign Secretary. Now, why is this? This is a shocking state of affairs. This man has disgraced himself because he has appointed somebody who has no right to be there. The dustbin man who comes to collect my bin has as much right to be there as him. It is quite possible he could appoint the bin man to be the Foreign Secretary. Now, whether you view that to be acceptable, I have no problem with the bin men, but I'm just saying the bin man could do the same job on the same basis. And he has put this ridiculous man, Cameron, who did nothing and brought this Brexit upon us, into the House of Lords. So this is shocking. Now, I have an article here by a man called Dylan Jones. Dylan Jones spent a year with David Cameron, and he was the author of Cameron on Cameron. He is the Evening Standard's editor-in-chief now, and he says, at least this rescues David Cameron from a life of Chinese consultancy. Many will never forgive him for the almost offhanded way he steered Britain into an unnecessary Brexit cul-de-sac, and the ramifications of his mistake continue to cast a pall over the country. I totally agree. Shame on Mr. Cameron. The last time I saw Mr. Cameron, he asked about my family, and I was at a party at Christie's, and I was standing next to Michael Heseltine. And Mr. Heseltine and his daughter, lovely people. I have no problem with Mr. Heseltine and his family. At least he stood up for democracy and stood against this coward Cameron. This coward Cameron is the man that put us into this mess. So, Mr. Dylan Jones continues. I found him, that's David Cameron, to be decent, compassionate, committed, and wily. And while he was criticised for saying that the principal reasons he wanted to be Prime Minister was because he thought he would do a good job, I knew that he meant. My wife wasn't sure about him, and she tends to be a good judge of character, but I thought he ended up being a pretty good Prime Minister until he wasn't, of course. And then he really wasn't. I totally agree with that. What his appointment, he continues, and I'm taking bits of this article, as Foreign Secretary does suggest, is that Rishi Sunak is trying to move his party towards the centre. Now, that's a good thing if it were genuine, but of course it isn't. Rather than the right, which will confound many, political analysts will no doubt improve his standing with the electorate. Of course, maybe Sunak just couldn't find anyone else to do it. To many, this is a reshuffle that looks desperate and is a sign that Sunak has run out of talent. I agree there. You may have thought there may have been someone who Sunak could have corralled into the job, but apparently not. And this is what the Evening Standard had to say. A return to a more sensible liberal Toryism would be a welcome relief. I totally agree. This man, Keir Starmer, is not the future that we all want. I don't want Keir Starmer, but I don't want the current Conservative Party either. Whether the rebirth of Cameroon, as they call it, Cameroon, not Cameron, leads to the more Cameroonian politics, or is simply Sunak's strategy of the week, remains to be seen. This is something that is disappointing and sad. I think we are heading for the bargain basement Britain that unfortunately none of us deserve. This is a very sad state of affairs. So that is that. But meanwhile, Carol Vorderman has been asking questions, and Carol, I don't particularly like Mrs. Vorderman. I find her a little bit irritating with her silly obsession with attacking people. But she has asked, about Michelle Mone again, because she's a bit obsessed with Michelle Mone. And she says, what he ought to be asked about. Why did he appoint Michelle Mone to the House of Lords, the woman who has taken £203 million? And I think that is right. Meanwhile, the account, Britain People Twitter account, which has got hundreds and millions of followers, has asked, why don't they arrest Michelle Mone? Now, David Cameron appointed this woman. This woman's husband is due to go on trial in Mr. Braverman, or Braverman, or whatever he's called, in January 2024. We're getting quite close to Braverman's trial, or Braverman, whatever he's called. And I do think it is time that questions were asked to Lord Cameron, as he now is, as to why this is acceptable. This is not acceptable in 1984, and it's definitely not acceptable in 2023. Bring on an investigation into them. And meanwhile, another friend of mine, who will remain nameless, a quite famous person, sent me a picture. And it was a picture of Rishi Sunak in a carpentry workshop. And he captioned it, "This week I'll be making a new cabinet from an old plank, an old lump, and associated dead wood that should be in the scrap bin." That is exactly what Rishi Sunak is. Rishi Sunak is a piece of junk, and he needs throwing on the Bibby Stockholm where he belongs. He really, and his horrible cabinet, they've got woodworm. They are a diseased bunch of people. They are a disgrace. Chuck them all out, throw them out with the rubbish. This lot are an absolute disgrace. So that's where we're up to on that. And next topic. So David Cameron has been dealt with. Shetland has been dealt with. Our next topic is a local legend in some people's minds. A woman called Tracey Emin. Now, Miss Emin allegedly lives in a place called Margate, which is, I believe, 5 minutes on the train from me here, where I am here in Broadstairs, but I don't go there. I've never been there. But I don't know why I've never been there. I've just never been there. It's just not somewhere I've been. Anyway, Ms. Emin have encountered multiple times over the years, and Ms. Emin gave an interview last week to the New York Times, which I read whilst I was in France. And she's now living in a recently renovated townhouse on Fitzroy Square, a genteel central London pocket that was once home to Virginia Woolf and George Bernard Shaw. So this is this woman that goes on about degenerates and terrible ways of living. And she's now talking about how she used to carry around a rather large bag. And in the rather large bag, she would carry 3 packs of Marlboro Lights, 6 Stella Artois beers, and a 5th of brandy. She says it was easier to have a big bag because in it she also hauled around all her insecurities. Now she claims all she carries around in her rather large bag is a bag of piss. That is a woman who is completely nuts, clearly. She's utterly crackers. She's 56 years old. She's fallen in love with her gynecologist. She fell in love with the New York collector. She wanted penetrative sex. I made them leave my clitoris when she had cancer surgery. This woman is an attention-seeking pest. Now, I spent some time with some friends of mine the other day who had to put up with her over the years, and they had various views. They actually like her, but I have spent time with her and heard her nonsense. The lady is completely deranged. And back in the year, let me look. Back in 2021, I wrote about her, and I did give some of her quotes. So, if you would like some examples of I don't know. Here we are. Your notebook is on the mic. I don't know what that means. My notebook is on the mic. I don't believe it is. Oh, you don't like having pieces of paper near my computer?
Fire.
Oh. Well, most people seem to be able to hear me, but there you go. Now you can hear me even more clearly. I'm not allowed to put anything near the computer. Right, I've learned that lesson. I do apologize to you all. Anyway, this woman in her interview has complained about how she came from the bedraggled streets of seaside Margate, 90 minutes by train east of London. She's experienced stints of homelessness, and now her illness, her traumas, and thorny romantic entanglements are writ loud in her art. She's now morphed into a property developer. Her awareness of her mortality has intensified her other passion, real estate. She has a grand residence in Fitzroy Square, which she bought in 2020. She's in a studio in the south of France, an apartment overlooking Stuyvesant Square, a park in Manhattan, which she rarely visits. I think my love of property is a matter of having so little growing up, being jammed together, being homeless, she says. She's very busy with that. And, my friend sold her property in Miami recently for her. A wonderful realtor who was a friend of mine. He asked me to write about it, which I did not do. But there we go. This woman is somehow mad. I remember going to a dinner at Ralph Lauren in Mayfair, and she sat next to me, and she told me that she wanted to publish a billboard of a man with a picture of a man who she claimed raped her. And I asked her, why don't you go to the police and talk to them about it? She said, well, that wouldn't get me any publicity. I said, well, that is completely the incorrect thing to do in life. That is a shameful thing to do. She didn't speak to me anymore after that. So that was my only experience of this woman. I have a friend who I've spent some time with last week who is a wonderful tailor in London. And he told me how he was friends with her and how she'd been to a party and she'd hit a pregnant woman. This woman is a little bit beyond bonkers. Now, I have to say, this article in the New York Times by a woman called Nancy Hass is an utter disgrace. It belongs in the bin. That is how I feel about that one. So, all right, we've dealt with that one. And right, next, Meghan Markle, I suppose. And then we're nearly done. Then we're going to do our quiz. So here we are. Meghan is trying to build a new Sussex squad, according to the Daily Mail. Now, some of you will say the Daily Mail is full of lies, but I think Meghan Markle is the one full of lies. She is a truly revolting person, and I think her and this Omid Scooby and her attendance at the Variety magazine Power of Women Gala is yet more significant pot stirring by this wicked witch of the West. There is no need for Meghan Markle to be anywhere anymore, along with her hideous mate and near neighbour, the ghastly Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is one of the most repugnant people I've ever met. She's a complete snob with no good reason. I don't know what she's achieved other than to annoy people in life. And there were other famous faces, according to the Mail, including Billie Eilish, Dua Lipa, Margot Robbie, and Carey Mulligan. Leonardo DiCaprio was at the next table. Oh, how lovely for them. Oh, there you go. Titanic on acid, I would say. So there you go. Anyway, Meghan has been stirring the pot yet again. As you're all saying, Scooby Snacks. Yes, she's made millions of selling her trash. Yes, that's reference to Tracey Emin. And then we've got some more of that horrible skin cream and Meghan Sharkle. Meghan stomach pump. Oh dear. You really don't like Meghan, do you, audience? So there we go. So here we are. Anyway, we are moving along at a rate of knots. So I think it will soon be time to do our quiz, I think. Meghan can bog off, as you say. I don't think we need to say much more about her because we're giving her airtime, and the less said, the better. But the Duchess of Scabies. Oh, well, you really don't like her. The Duchess of Knit Shampoo. Oh, right. Right. Okay. So we're going to try a quiz. And here we go. And my quiz attendant, is he going to speak?
Do a nice easy one, page 45.
You want page 45. My guest here, Max, would like page 45 for this quiz. So I don't know why 45.
I have a sharpened pencil at the ready.
Right. The drinks monitor is doing quite well. You'll have to get more drinks during this quiz because it will be
A long one.
taking some time. Right. You would like a vote. Oh, my former school teacher, Mr. Gorse. I assume that is you. My former French teacher from school, Mr. Gorse. I can't imagine that's someone else called Mr. Gorse. I have never lost a quiz to Mr. Steeples. Well, you were a nightmare as a school teacher, I have to say, Mr. Gorse. I thought you were, you and your terrifying French lessons did annoy me, to be honest. I didn't really like French lessons, and that's why I never bothered to learn it. I hid at the back of the room, and I never bothered to join in, as you know. But I do like you, Mr. Gorse. You're a very nice gentleman. But I don't like you. I didn't like your school lessons. But there we go. He says, "Thanks very much." Oh yes, that's nice. You can make friends with an old adversary from school. I do respect you, though, sir. You are a great gentleman. Anyway, right. Who else have we got here complaining? Right. Before we start this quiz, I bet you were a beautiful baby. Oh, thank you, Linda Jo. That's very kind of you to say. And Linda Jo, you were a most generous lady And thank you ever so much. And I'm going to be writing to you directly because your lovely parcel that I didn't know about because it was hidden in the cellar of the magnet has arrived. And I have never known anyone be so generous in terms of giving a gift. That is the most amazing gift you could possibly give. And it was, we will come to that tomorrow. But thank you ever so much. I didn't know about this until today, so I wasn't able to comment until then. So thank you ever so much, and we'll come back to you. Right. I'm told I'll be on detention if I don't behave. Right.
I'm on detention every day.
My guest tells me he was on detention every day of the week when he was growing up. So this quiz is called Potluck. And I'm not going to tell you which page we're on, and that's none of your business. So we don't want any cheating. We want everyone to join in and behave yourselves. Right. I've been told I had to do page 45. I have no idea why. Question number 1. Jonas Salk earned a Presidential Medal of Freedom for his discovery of a vaccine for which viral disease?
Next page.
I know this is a problem with this book. I'm going to go over there. I know that's annoying. We don't. Right. The first person to answer with polio is Mother Duck.
Mother Duck.
Mother Duck gets 1 point. So our quiz monitor will be writing down Mother Duck 1 point. Question number 2. Sales of which close proximity physical game skyrocketed after Eva Gabor played it with Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show in 1966?
1966.
And it wasn't Jingle Jangle Jewelry or Game Boy, and it wasn't Rubik Cube, and it wasn't AIDS. AIDS, and it wasn't Cilla Black, and it wasn't Measles. The winner with Twister is Simon Coates.
Oh, Simon Coates.
Yes, Simon Coates gets the point, but it was not Cilla Black, and it wasn't Anthea Turner, and it wasn't Monopoly. I know you love Anthea, but unfortunately Anthea did not do that. Anth is more into swinging into action, and she likes a bit of key swapping. But there we go. So I'll only leave it at that.
Sorry.
Bless you, Jono. So Jono is only going to be here for one more night because Jono is off to the Down Under land. And unfortunately, he's not taking Rolf Harris with him because he's already dead. But there we go. So the next question of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, which is both the oldest and the only one to still exist? It's not the pyramids, and it's not Babylon, and it's not Have You Swung with Anthea Turner. It's not the Babylon Gardens, and it's not...
Turner gets the lowest.
It's the Pyramid of Giza, and Claudia gets the point. Claudia, but no, it's not Anth. Anth is too busy with her Cadbury's Flake. Let's think of when she was at her wedding with the good old Grant Bovey. You know, there was Fuck I Wanted to Be Famous and Fuck I Used to Be Famous. That's how those two should be remembered. Anyway, so the next question. In which Olympic sport do competitors cross the finishing line backwards? It's not Philip Schofield, and it's not the Lighthouse, and it's not Keith Richards. And I won't repeat the next one because it's extremely offensive. It's not swimming, and it's not rowing. It's not language, Mr. Gorse. Oh, Mr. Gorse doesn't like the language. Okay, I'm terribly sorry, school teacher, Mr. Gorse. You are being very thank you for your correction. I do agree. It's not the marathon, and it's not wheelbarrow racing. It's not that geezer bloke, and it's not tiddlywinks. You're not doing very well at this question. It's not the cheese roll. It's not the high jump. It's not the egg and spoon race. It's not welly throwing. It's not the tug of war. You're rather useless, all of you. Right, you are basically like the bunch of weakest links this evening. It's not Cilla Black going downhill. I know Cilla is your favourite, but right.
There's nobody got it.
Right, it's not Pin the Tail on the Donkey or Badminton Moonwalking. It's not the Wall of China. It's not the three-legged race. I will repeat the question, otherwise this question will be voided. In which Olympic sport do competitors cross the finishing line backwards? I have Sharon repeated the question. Nicole wins the point with rowing. Nicole has the point. Scottish Nicole, because she's got a flag next to her name. It's not drunks falling out of a pub either, or it's not George Galloway playing a cat. Right, question number 5. With which gestures did Judas Iscariot identify Jesus to the police force of the Sanhedrin?
Bit of a lengthy question.
And Pennine Counties gets the point with a kiss. Pennine Counties is so tonight we are having a variety of people. Pennine Counties. Okay. Yes, they're like the Yorkshire-Lancashire border. So Mr. Gorse would like that because Mr. Gorse, of course, is in Lancashire. So I don't know if he's friends with Pennine Counties, but we love you very much, Mr. Gorse. A wonderful gentleman. Right. Question number 6. Supposedly, which sport was invented after 9-pin bowling was banned in Connecticut due to its association with gambling? The winner is Simon Coates with 10-pin. Chantel Boyson is objecting to the opening and closing of the fridge every second.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Well,
sure got a penalty point for that.
Chantel, you've got a 10-point penalty point from one of my guests, I'm afraid. Anyway, so we've answered that one. Right. Originating from the name of a Washington, D.C. hotel, which common 4-letter word has become a suffix used in the name of scandals? It's pretty easy. This is the easiest question on the planet. Simon Coates wins with gate.
It's getting boring.
Gate. Simon Coates is... You cannot criticize Simon Coates for getting a point. He got there first. Right. Question 8. Who was Bugs Bunny's girlfriend?
If you say me, it's incorrect.
The ones of you who are complaining that you got there first, I'm very sorry. We can only take answers on the basis of how they appear on the screen. The complaining is rather tedious, so please cease the complaining because it is frankly irritating. Okay, thank you. Enough. Bye-bye. Right, so can we answer that question? Right. Well, the first is not Cilla Black, and it's not J.K. Rowling. It's not Skid, and it's not Daphne. Nicole. Do we allow Nicole? Yes, I suppose Nicole is the winner with Lola. Nicole gets the point. It's not Cilla Rabbit, and it's not Philip Schofield, and it's not Pebbles. It's not Donald wears your trousers.
Who are these people?
And here is June.
June.
Is it June from Broadstairs?
Yes, June Hutchins. Love to see you back for a drink in the Magnet. Well, June, you and Mario were meant to be attending this evening. So where are you? Let's be having you.
Our toy boy.
You were meant to be here for our little gathering, but anyway, June, we understand that Mario probably had to spend some time at home. So anyway, we wish him a happy evening, and we maybe will see you in the Magnet very soon. I'm sure we will. So anyway, we love you very much. And Mr. Gorse says, I like June. Busting out all over. Mario has got a hangover, according to June. So there we go. There we go, Max. And
that was the day before the Magnet.
Yes, oh dear. We had a rather big day out at the Magnet. So the next question. Question number 9. Which snooker player is nicknamed the Whirlwind? It's not Bobby Charles. It's not Ronnie O'Sullivan, but the correct answer is Jimmy White. And the correct answer comes from a new entrant, David.
It's Rocket Ronnie.
David gets the point. Whoever David is, he's just plain David. He's not a David with any surname.
He probably lives here.
Anyway, hello, David. Welcome to you, David. We have several Davids in our orbit, but we didn't know you. So you're a new one. Halfway House. In which war did the charge of the Light Brigade occur? And I know the family that were very involved in this. So it was not David Gates, Mr. Gorse. David Gates, he was a fellow school person with me. Yes, I'm getting all the names of my former school colleagues. Yes, or schoolmates. Yes. Anyway, Simon Coates wins with Crimean.
Simon Coates again.
Yes, he's a very quick off the first finger four. Right, number 11. How many bones does a shark have? I could never have answered such a question, but there we go. Anyway, it's a very interesting question because I'd like to see how many of you get it right. Anna Perkins wins because a shark has 0 bones, no bones. So Anna Perkins is the winner. I didn't know that, so you learn something new every day. A shark has no bones. Remember that. It could be useful to you. Oh, and here we are. The Old Faithful Geezer. The Old Faithful Geezer sounds like something from Hillbilly, God knows where. Lies in which American national park? Another one I couldn't answer. The Old Geezer. Well, it's not Yosemite, but BMRC wins the point. Another new entry with Yellowstone.
What's that stand for?
BMRC. That's the name of the person.
Yeah, what does he stand for?
We don't know. We can't possibly question other people's choice of names. That would be inappropriate. I'm sorry that my quiz assistant, Debbie McGee, for the evening is being difficult and asking questions about your name. Well, anyway, we don't. We are allowing him a pass because he will be going away soon. So therefore, we can allow him. Right. Next question. Father Karras from The Exorcist and the prophesied Antichrist child in The Omen. Oh my God, Damien. Share what? Oh God, I probably have given away the answer. I have given away the answer. Oh dear. I do apologize. We will have to just scrap that question. Right, I'll ask a different question from a different page. Right. Right. I gave away that question. I do apologize. The name of which Charles Dickens novel is also the stage name of a famous American magician? It's not Diana Dawes. Min would get it both barrels if she were here. The winner is Anna Perkins with David Copperfield on that one. So, right, we go back.
Perkins, yeah.
Anna Perkins is perking up. I think she's going into battle. Right, so I'm sorry I ruined the question about Damien from The Omen, but I've encountered many children who are like Damien from The Omen, so the minute I see that word, I think about it. Anyway, what is the vegetable called in Britain that is known as arugula in the United States? Arugula. What do you think of when you start? It's not a tricycle.
Excellent, that's a tricycle.
A vegetable.
It's not asparagus.
Vegetable.
It's not aubergine. It's not aubergine, no. It's not asparagus. And the winner with a rocket is Bernadette. Bernadette gets the point. Bernadette. Well done to Bernadette. Question 15. British 20p and 50p coins both have how many sides? Nobody uses coins anymore anyway, so I'll be amazed if you know how many they've got. It's not Cilla Black, no, and it's not asparagus. No, Cilla Black does not have a certain number. The BMRC wins again with 7 sides. BMRC.
Yeah, this infamous street BMRC.
Mr. Gorse nearly got there, but Mr. Gorse, you were my French teacher at school, but you need to be a bit faster finger forward because my Irish friend here is saying you are the weakest link, and I don't wish to be rude to you, Mr. Gorse, because we love you very much. But my friend here, Max, is being a little naughty, and I'll have to send Mr. Gorse round to deal with him.
Ooh la la.
And he says ooh la la. So, right, next. Enough is enough. Michelle Pfeiffer, Halle Berry, and Zoe Kravitz, have all played the role of which comic character in film? The winner is Melissa Neal with Catwoman. Melissa Neal, as opposed to Melissa somebody else. Right. Question 17. Which American ice cream brand was given a name that looked Danish by its founders, but which does not mean anything in that language? It's an easy question. It's not vanilla. Pennine Counties gets it with Häagen-Dazs, but spelt incorrectly. But I think you are allowed it because you have got the meaning of it.
Pennine Counties.
Sorry?
Pennine Counties.
No. The winner is Pennine Counties.
Pennine Counties.
Yes, they get the point.
Okay.
Crocs, Whoppers, and Porkies are synonyms for what? Not shoes. No, it's not shoes. Pennine Counties, you're wrong. It's not Burger King, Doc Savage. BMRC wins with lies. BMRCs.
Got a BMRC. You're going to have to review yourself at some point.
whoever you are. It's not sweets. It's not shows. It's not lie. This is lies.
Stop lying, Matthew.
It's not slippers. June says, "Is Max drinking too much of the gin?"
Not enough, June.
Max replies he's not had enough of the gin. June. So we miss you, June. You were meant to be here. We're very disappointed that you and Mario
Well, she could have come with that, Mario.
Jean
but no, we miss you, June. We would have loved to.
Monster.
Right. So the next question is the penultimate question. Linen is obtained from the fibers of which plant? Linen. Harry Giles rightly points out, it's just fun, everyone. Why are you all moaning that you don't get there first? Well, quite correctly. Harry Giles is speaking the word of sense. The winner is Simon Coates with flax. Flax.
Harry Giles, half a point.
Simon Coates gets the point.
Oh, boring.
Deducted.
And the final question, number 20. Horses' heights are calculated in what measurement?
Oh.
Name for the part of the human body. Well, that's easy. It's the most easy question.
Oh, that was a bit too easy.
It was an easier one earlier.
Well, it's not cotton plant.
Cotton plant?
I missed the link. Paulie was misspelt it. So Joanne Taylor gets the point. Joanne Taylor gets the point with hands. And June says, my toy boy couldn't make it. So naughty Mario has been unable to attend. He had a hangover.
Well, he shouldn't be in the Magna from Open Con.
And Mr. Gorse was also giving an answer, but Mr. Gorse, you weren't very quick, were you, sir? When I was at school, you used to tell me off when I wasn't very quick. So, oh dear. Caught up with you now, haven't I?
Mr. Gorse has brought up.
Anthea Turner has Mr. Gorse won a point?
No, Mr. Gorse has come last.
Mr. Gorse is last. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Gorse, you came last. And who was the winner? Who was the second?
Second last, or
the second winner?
Oh, second winner.
Runner up.
We don't need analysis.
Yeah, well, they're confusing BMRC.
Oh well, Harriet has also been taking notes.
BMRC came very strong to the end, but we're very curious.
Yes, second place. And Harriet tells me that Simon Coates came first.
Yeah, Simon Coates unfortunately did come first. It's becoming a bit of a habit, I think, from my past experience of knowing that. And BMRC, who refuses to reveal their real identity, was a close second.
Yes, well, thank you very much to Harriet and to the wonderful Jono for conducting this lovely quiz. We have had a wonderful time of life and laughter, and I cannot believe my schoolmaster has joined in. So thank you very much to Mr. Gorse, Mr. Stuart Gorse. Thank you very much. I don't know if I'm allowed to call you Mr. Stuart Gorse, but
Sir.
Sir. Yes, thank you. There we go. Thank you.
Point.
And Pennine Counties is making comments allegedly. And
yeah, well, Pennine County's got a couple of points there.
Yes, so well done, Pennine Counties as well. And well done. Thank you to Harriet
Nicole, Anna Perkins. There's a lot of females amongst it. Where are the boys amongst it? It's not.
Yes, where are the boys? Says
even Mother Duck got a point.
yeah, Mother Duck.
Claudia Wilkerman.
And June would like to remind me that June and I will be making a podcast in the next coming days and weeks. So there will be another opportunity for you to have the lady who loves Boris and Brexit versus me who
And the
hates
quiz will be based
Boris
on crime.
and Brexit. And we will do a lot of talks about criminality.
And the quiz
So
will be on
here we
crime.
are. So,
Lord,
and it would be lovely to do a program with Mr. Gorse. If Mr. Gorse is available, we could do one remotely. It would be wonderful to include you, Mr. Gorse, because when I was at school, I was a bit of a nightmare, wasn't I? I wasn't very good at French lessons. I was the worst student in the entire.
Mr. Macron.
I don't think, and then here I am, the one that ended up with the house in the south of France. So never mind. Anyway, I wish you all a wonderful evening, happiness galore, and I hope you all have happiness galore. Take care, good night, and good gardening, and don't have nightmares, and as Jill Dando would say, don't have nightmares. Take care. Bye-bye.
Don't come around the mic.